Holly, what'd you do?
Took a video of you stretching.
All right, Legion of Loyal listeners and Wildcat fans, we're back for the third annual fall preview show here down at Juniors, joined by a wonderful, extremely large panel tonight. So everybody, thank you for being here very much. You're on the fourth season with the Mike and Rob experience. We've got Jeff Meyer doing the production. Rob Berry's outside checking to make sure all our volumes are good. And of course, we've got head coach Sarah Cayley, the associate head coach, Mr. Frederick, the Big Cat Barr. Seniors, Abby Larson, Madison Cayley, Abby Derry, Emily Bennett, Jennifer Hoover, and Hallie Olson. So welcome. Coach, you want to go through a little rundown of your resume with everybody one more time so you can brag about the resume in front of start again?
No, I hate that.
Give us just a short synopsis.
Well, I was born in 1978 in Muncie, Indiana, and no, I grew up in Indiana. I was really fortunate. I had a lot of amazing coaches to play for and learn from, and I went to Muncie Central High School and played for Munciana Volleyball Club. It landed me at the University of Illinois. I coached at Ball State for a season, and then I moved to Wisconsin, and I've been here for 10 seasons now. Thank you.
Big Cat Red Bar.
I don't know what to tell you. I was born in 1991. I grew up in Detroit, and I started playing volleyball when I was in college at Hillsdale College in South Central Michigan. Played a little club volleyball. Did I say Wisconsin?
No.
Minnesota. Michigan.
Michigan. You were Michigan.
South Central Michigan. And I started coaching out here in River Falls probably about 15 years ago. This is our 10th year now. Sarah and I coaching together with the Wildcats. I coached with a little club over in the cities called Kokoro for about 3 years. That was a good experience as well. So excited to go.
Abby Larson, you want to start with your background a little bit in volleyball? We'll come on down to the senior panel.
All right. Well, I started volleyball in 5th grade when I started playing Spring League. And that, am I on?
Yeah.
Am I good? All right. And then I moved on to Rage, where I made Fred's team, and he coached me for a while. And then from there, I moved on to Kokoro, and I've been there ever since. And now I'm playing at high school. And then I'm going on to UW Oshkosh to play in college. And that's it.
I started playing volleyball in the 2nd grade in Spring League as I moved into Rage with Fred Barr, 13s and 14s. Yeah.
But who was your first Spring League coach?
Sarah Cayley.
Yeah.
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then Fred. And then I moved on to Kokoro as well, where I played 15s, 16s, 17s, and now 18s come this November. And I am committed to the University of Minnesota Duluth, where I'm excited to play next 2 years. Next year.
Yeah.
I started playing volleyball in 6th grade, Spring League. And then I played on Maddie and Abby's Rage team in 7th and 8th grade. And then I didn't go to Kokoro. I started basketball club in Minnesota. And I still play that. But that's it. And I don't know where I'm going for college.
All right, I'm Emily. I've been playing volleyball since 3rd grade. My first club team was with Sarah for Rage, and our motto for that year was be an athlete. We had shirts that said be an athlete.
Which obviously I was making a point because they weren't. But I had a really outstanding Emily Bannett, and that's all I needed.
And then I went to Kokoro for my 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and now this upcoming 18s year. And I will be playing college volleyball at Loyola University Chicago.
Boom.
I am Jenna. I started playing volleyball in 5th grade, first spring league, and then I moved on to Rage and play. I don't know what I played for. And then I went on
memorable.
to Kokoro. My 15s year, I was on Maddie's team, and then 16s and 17s. And I do not know where I'm playing for 18s, and I am still undecided for college.
I'm Hallie. I started volleyball in 2nd grade with Maddie. I played spring league for 2 years, and then in 4th grade I went to Kokoro. I did Kokoro for 7 years, and then last year I switched to Select. And for college, I'm going to Florida Atlantic University.
Well, there's our panel for 2019. I've made these very, very beautiful signs in front of you. One side says Sarah, one side says Fred. And this is a game we're going to call How Well Do You Know Your Coaches. So what I want you to do after each question, hold up either Fred or Sarah and see whose answer this is. Question number 1 is, which coach said their proudest accomplishment was their family?
Wow.
I didn't have this prepared well enough, but you both did.
Yeah.
Fred and Sarah.
High five.
All right, the question to the
I got you, Fred.
the second question is, if River Falls were to have a new mascot and were to replace the Wildcats, which coach said that the new mascot name would be the Fighting Ferrets? If you're holding up Fred, you are correct. Sarah, what was your answer?
I said the Huskies. I like dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, the Bulldogs.
But River Falls Fighting Ferrets.
The
just
Fighting
the
Ferrets.
alliteration. Just
River Falls Fighting Ferrets.
River Falls
Question
Fighting
number
Ferrets,
3.
right? You didn't see it. Huskies? River Falls Huskies.
Which coach answered this question is, what makes you laugh the most, and which coach answered, my coaching partner? You are correct if you have Sarah up.
What did Fred say?
Fred? I don't remember. I just had the...
I think I said Monty Python and the Holy... No, that was... no, it was...
It's right here. I do have it.
Okay, go.
What makes them laugh the most is when other teams do a single file hitting and warm up.
That does.
All right, which coach answered this? Their favorite zoo animal is the gorilla. Fred or Sarah? Again, you're both very close. Fred answered gorilla. Sarah answered the monkey.
The monkey.
That we do.
Jenna was the only one that
The
thought
monkey.
I liked monkeys.
All right, here we go.
Monkey.
Oh, yeah.
You would grow
Which coach said their favorite childhood memory is their family vacations? Once again, you can't be wrong. They both answered it.
We
I
had the
didn't
same
have that much
answer.
time, Abby, or I would have prepared for that, trust me.
Yeah.
All right, which coach answered to what their biggest fear in his life? The answer is a snapping turtle.
Okay, I just want to see. Maddie, do you know what my biggest fear is? Spiders. Nope. Snakes.
You are correct. One is snapping turtles, one is snakes. All right, a couple more
Wrong
questions here.
step parent.
Which coach answered to what is their biggest pet peeve? The answer from which coach was refs that don't call doubles.
That's too easy. Well, yeah. But who yells about it more?
Did you answer that?
No.
The big
Yeah, but
cat,
who
Fred
answered?
Barr. All right, here's the next question. If you could live anywhere else, which coach answered Austin, Texas? Keep your card up if you have Sarah.
Thank you for playing.
Fred's answer was Dallas, Texas. No, just kidding.
No, it
Colorado.
wasn't.
It's close enough. All right, well, that is how well do you know your coaching staff. So here we'll start the show. Coaches, this one's first to you. You know, you've built a heck of a fine program in 10 years. What are some of the expectations, obviously, with your all-in in 2019 with a big stacked group of seniors and stacked underclassmen?
We talked about it a little bit at our preseason first team meeting on Tuesday, that back in the day when we would get together as a group, we would discuss
That's
goals.
Rob
and
Berry,
what-
misses his dog.
The team would come together and we would talk about what we thought we could achieve and what goals we wanted to set for the season, what was realistic and what might be overshooting. And that's not where we're at in our program anymore. Our goal is to win a state title every season. And it's something that we haven't attained yet, but that we're still striving for. So that's our ultimate goal.
Fred, any expectations?
He does this to me in practice, too.
What she said. That's our ultimate goal. But I'm thinking about right now about where the first year we went to state 3 years ago. And the biggest difference now is watching these girls scrimmage against each other. We didn't have an opposite six to scrimmage against that was tough, that was good, that could make us better all the time. Mm-hmm. We were pretty good, but I mean, after 6 or 7 players, there wasn't as much depth. They were way better than anyone we'd had before. But these girls, if you haven't seen them, you got to see them scrimmage. It's so fast, and it's so fun, and it's power volleyball, and they just make each other better every time. So,
should we be concerned that you play under the net volleyball to try to win state titles?
It's not really game-like, but they have a lot of fun.
What is butt blocking?
They have a lot of fun.
All right, next thing, coaches, here, back to you guys. Can you talk about maybe some of the things you've done this year to strengthen your schedule even more? You've been trying to do it the last few years as your team gets better and better. What have you done again this year to strengthen your schedule?
Well, we get 15 play dates that we could add on our schedule. 6 of them go automatically to conference. So outside of that, looking at tournaments, we just keep trying to get in bigger and better tournaments. This year we've added the Marshall tournament, the Southwest Minnesota Challenge in early September, which is one that I wanted to get in, and it was full. And I said to the athletic director, please, if anybody drops, let me know. So it was probably December before he got back to me and said, I've got an opening. Do you want it? Yeah, we do. Because it's just really good teams from Minnesota. We added Eastridge to a single night match. We've dropped Prescott and Ellsworth this season and picked up Eastridge and North Branch, who won a state title last year. We're really excited about those.
Last year, you strengthened your schedule by adding the Charger Rally and went down to Milwaukee and finished second.
Yep.
And you also added the St. Michael Albertville and went there and took third.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad. All right, next thing, coaches, talk about the importance of team chemistry and the ability to build trust in your gym.
Bretto? I talk more than you do, so.
Well, and that's how it works, I guess. That's okay. I'm okay with that, right? Yeah. This is interesting. This has always been interesting to me because chemistry is so important in volleyball. I've always been a baseball guy. And you don't come together after a pitch and, pat each other on the butt.
Those games would go on forever.
So, and I played a lot of volleyball, not, as competitive as these girls even, but it's so cool to watch them come together and the chemistry, and now we've got these 6 seniors that have been playing together for so long. It is such an important part of the game and something that it's taken me a couple of years to really, truly appreciate. I was always kind of like, hey, just go out and play. Mm-hmm. Like a baseball player, you go out and hit, you go and you pitch, and you like your teammates, but it doesn't matter if you do. So it is so much different in the respect they have for each other and the way they encourage and push each other to get better. Boy, that chemistry, it's pretty fun to watch. It's pretty cool.
And I didn't feel like it was something that we had to coach in the early
It took
years.
us a while to learn that, actually, maybe.
But I remember it was New Year's Eve, and some of the girls had come in to set up because there was an adult tournament, and the person running it was going to donate the proceeds, but we offered to set up the gym. So I came in, and I opened everything up, and the girls started setting up, and they didn't want to leave. Like, they just wanted to hang around, and let's just get the balls out. Let's just play a little bit, because they missed being together. And that, to me, made me feel good as a coach that we've created something here to where, like Fred said, they have the mutual respect and the relationships built to where they just enjoy being around each other.
All right, seniors, now it's your turn. Obviously, you build a lot of time in the gym with your coaches, right? I said never compare the classroom to the locker room because they're not comparable. So what kind of impact have these two, motivation, whatever, done for you guys? Pass the mic if you need to.
Be nice.
No, I had a question, actually. With, team chemistry?
Sure, go ahead.
Anybody else want to start?
You've got the mic now. It doesn't have to be chemistry. It can be anything.
Okay.
Are you going off my question, or do you add something to team chemistry? What are you trying
I'm
to...
going off your question.
All right, so I'm just asking what kind of impact these guys have had. What kind of connections have you built with Fred and Sarah over 2 years you've been in the gym with them?
The question was not clear. Okay.
We had media training today, so that's why we're here.
Has anyone made you cry?
Well, starting with Fred. I've known Fred growing up, obviously, because I started in 2nd grade with Sarah, and Fred were kind of like my gym parents, I guess. And Sarah's my real parent, but Fred more my gym parent. And then I had Fred as a rage coach, and I'm always his favorite, I mean, obviously. But,
Look at Abby, and Abby are like, what?
But, yeah, he's just pushed me and made me stronger mentally, and we really worked on that mental toughness a couple of years ago, just pushing me to my limit and then teaching me how to work from it. Sarah, oh wow, I didn't think I was going to cry. Sarah has pushed me even more than Fred has. Just being in that setter role, it's such a different leadership role, and I have to be Sarah on the court, and I've really learned her, when she talks in practice, I can fill in her gaps because that's how much I know what she expects from me and the team. So
That's sweet. Thank you. That way.
Well, like I said before, I knew Sarah when I started Rage, and I think that's
Tell them about the first practice when I called you Horton.
Oh, yeah. So we would do
Run-throughs?
just run-throughs and passing drills. And I guess that I used to run with my hands, my platform together like this. And I would run after a ball with my platform together. So Sarah called me Horton, like it was my elephant trunk.
The first day of practice, and then she went home, and I thought, I don't even know this girl, and I don't know her family, and she's not going to want to come back tomorrow. She might be at home crying. And then the next practice, she came in, and I said, hi, Emily, and she goes, don't you mean Horton? And I'm like, I like her. She's tough. She can take it.
And I think one of the biggest things I've taken away is Sarah and Fred both, but they've taught me really good communication skills. Just when we do our 2-on-1s, we have to communicate them back to her, and we just have to make sure we communicate things really early and clearly with them. So that's just one of the big things I took away or will take away.
For me, it's always been very interesting in practice. They expect a lot from me, especially Sarah, because she wants me to be the best I can be. I think this is the first year that I really feel like I have a leadership skill, and I think that's very, very thanks to Sarah. And Fred's there just to, make me smile when I shank
That's
some
a tough
passes.
job.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Yeah, it's just really nice. I feel like I've developed a lot of new skills that I wouldn't have had without them. So that's great.
Thank you, Hal.
All day, every day.
I think the biggest thing I take away is that they not only teach us volleyball skills and how to get better, but they also teach us life lessons and how to just become better people in the gym and out of the gym and in school.
All right. I think what I've taken from both of them is that they've just taught me never to give up. Starting with Fred and my Rage team, I really couldn't even serve the ball over the net. But Fred never gave up on me, and he's pushed me ever since. And Sarah, too, just over the years. They've always given me everything I need to work on. They've just taught me to be a better person.
And you're a heck of a server.
Yeah.
You are a heck of a server.
I think they have both been very motivating and hello.
Is this on?
And
all about us tonight,
I've
or what?
I
learned
don't
a
know.
lot of life skills, talking to everybody and good eye contact.
We love you, Jenna. Thank you.
And just good leadership skills and knowing when to have a good time and then when to also be very serious.
Anyone else? Are we done?
Yeah.
All right, you guys that have committed, obviously got a bunch of underclassmen here, your role models to the community, and each one of your journeys to the next level is a little bit different. So maybe you guys can kind of share your journeys to your college choices and what the path and journey was like for each one of you.
I started talking just the recruiting process for each of us. Okay, I started talking to some coaches the spring of my junior year, and I didn't really, at first I thought that I really wanted to go far away, like East Coast. I was like, yeah, I want to go to the beach all the time.
Yeah.
And then we went there on a family vacation, and I was like, whoa, like this is really far from home. And like, I'd only come home for like probably Christmas and in the summer. So then I reached out to more coaches, and one of the ones that stuck out to me was Loyola, because I have family that actually lives like 30 minutes from Chicago. So that was a really good plus, and I've always just really loved the city of Minneapolis and St. Paul. So that also drew my attention of the city, and they got a new coaching staff, which kind of drew my attention because they kind of struggled the first couple of years with their other coach, and so this coach was like one of the coaches like Sarah, who was starting to bring up their volleyball program, and I was just interested in helping to make that program even better too. So then I committed in the summer, and I'm hoping to maybe go there early this summer.
Congratulations.
So I started talking to a few schools the past spring, and a few like I went to visit, just kind of was like looking at them. But then I was at a tournament in the Dells, and UW Oshkosh actually reached out to me. So then I took a visit up there, and I kind of just fell in love with it right away. And then I actually found out that my mom was supposed to go there to play basketball, but she ended up tearing her ACL, so she never could make it. So I just kind of, it like spoke to me, and I think I get to finish something that she never got to do. So I'm really excited for that.
Congratulations.
So for me, I started my process end of 8th grade. So it was a very, very lengthy process. Schools would show interest, then fall off, or I would show interest, then fall off. So it was a lot of just like reorganizing the list. And for FAU, they stuck out differently than any other college. It seemed like they really cared about my well-being instead of just me being another great athlete in the gym. They cared about team chemistry, which here I learned is very important. And it's just a family. And for me, I am all about adventuring and new starts, so I'm moving all the way across the country. And
To a warmer climate.
yes, the beach is 1.8 miles away.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited just to have something new, new environment, new people.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
I started my recruiting process my sophomore year, like my spring of my sophomore year, I think. And coaches reached out to me. I didn't really do much because my 15th year, I didn't know if playing in college was going to be a possibility, being on the twos team. And so it was kind of just a dream at that point. It wasn't like a reality. So when that started happening, Duluth contacted me and some other colleges. But
Tell them
Duluth,
about our big visit.
yes. So Duluth was my very first coaches that contacted me, and I kind of put all my eggs in one basket. Everybody else kind of just faded into the background, and I didn't really pay attention to any of the other ones. And then we went on an unofficial visit with Sarah, my dad, Ryan, Parker, Michael, Morgan, my mother, and Tim. So 9 people in my coach's very small office. And he said it was by far the biggest,
we didn't
visit.
fit.
No. So people are sitting up on the window balcony, chairs everywhere, and Parker lets out a little toot.
But didn't know it because he had his headphones on and his iPad, so he was in his own world.
And I thought it was just a chair, but someone started laughing, and I was like, oh my God. And I just turned red. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know how it impacted me. And then he was like, that's really funny. And so the coaches, I had done most of my talking in the beginning with Kristen, the assistant coach, and she was just super friendly. And on one of our first calls, her dogs were barking, her babies were crying, and I was like, that's my type of environment. If she can understand that, then we're on the same page. And then Jim Booz, the head coach, is a setter coach, and so he told me straight up, I'm going to push you, and I'm going to be up your butt all the time. And I was like, okay. And so,
And I got to tell you, too, when we got home from that visit and I asked Maddie what she thought about the staff, she said, well, they remind me of you and Fred. And I go, oh, I don't know if that's a good thing. She goes, no, it's my comfort zone.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and then I got up there again for camp, and the players were super inviting, and I was like, this is where I want to be. So I committed October of my junior year.
I started my commitment process December of this year, kind of. And I got a video done. It took a little while to come back, and then I just had it, and I had no idea what to do with it, so it was just sitting in my camera roll, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Maybe show a couple people, I don't know. So I had it sitting in my camera roll, and then about 100 people looked at it, and I was like, well, I don't even know these people. So I didn't know to contact anybody, so I had them contact me. So I just had a couple schools there, and then I really fell in love with one of them. And then I went on a visit, and it was great. Like, I loved it. But then the cost was, like, really not worth it, I want to say. Because, like, it was a lot. Like, I'd pay 1 year, and then that'd be, like, what normal people would pay all through college. So I was like,
Are you going to Harvard?
yeah.
Oop, Harvard?
That's like also with the scholarship, it'd still be like, it wouldn't even cut down half. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I should keep looking. So I contacted one other school, and it just wasn't a fit. Like, they didn't have any openings. Like, I couldn't even walk on. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to be open-minded. Like, anybody can contact me. I'll be fine with it. So recently, like, tryouts probably, a couple days before tryouts, I think, I had a assistant coach contact me, and I, again, really liked the school, and I was like, this could be a possibility. Like, it's in my price range. They have my major, and I was like, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do whatever I can to, like, go to the school. So I recently just sent them our schedule, and hopefully they can come to a couple of games.
Will you share who?
Augsburg.
Nice.
Yep.
It's been neat as a coach to see all of their recruiting processes because they're all different. And I think it's important to find the right fit for you, whether it be location from home or coaching staff or team or majors. And everybody has different needs. And I feel like they've all found a place where they're going to be able to grow and develop. And that makes us feel good sending them on when they leave the nest.
I have a sidebar.
Yes, please.
And Sarah and Friend have also been very, like, they've been very helpful. Like, Sarah reached out to me about Augsburg, and then Fred is also like, Izzy loves it. Like,
Yeah.
And then we played the Dream Team during Summer League, and Kayla Jurdy plays for Augsburg.
Yeah.
And then I know Jade plays for there, and she was recently, like, she almost committed D1, wasn't it? That?
She did, actually, and it
Yeah.
didn't work out. So.
And then she just went to Augsburg. Then Izzy's there, and I'm like, well, yeah, this is going to be, like, kind of like home. Like, I know
Yeah.
these people. They played for Kokoro, and, like, it's just going to be great.
All right, coaches, players, we talked a little bit about this morning. Tell me something funny. You guys spend a lot of time together, hotel rooms, suburban rides, gym, serve, Gretsch, short, I mean, all that good stuff. Anybody got a funny story they want to share this year, last year, anytime?
This is Maddie Cayley's. Everyone knows we've had an issue with a couple of injuries so far this year. And we have some jump boxes that Rob and Mike built a couple years ago for us.
They don't only just broadcast, they build things,
They
too.
build things.
Yeah.
They build things. And one of the jump boxes, unfortunately, is
Got a bum wheel.
bad wheel. Got a bad wheel. So it has this sign on it, and but we've been using it to sit on for some of our kids that have injuries. And Maddie, you might want to finish that story. I don't know.
Well, Sarah was in the drill, and she goes, okay, let's shag.
Grab the microphone, Maddie.
Yeah. She goes, okay, let's shag real quick. I want to get all these balls off the court so nobody trips over them and gets hurt. And then Maddie Mara goes, yeah, because we have no more room on the box. And I turn around, and this sign is just sitting there, and I go, broken. And I was like, the broken box. We do not use these broken people. And I was like, yeah. So, and
You
then I
can't
told
use the box, you can't use the people.
Yeah, and then I told like 4 people that story, and now it's my story.
I thought it was so clever. Anyway. So.
Funny story?
Okay, so I sneezed at practice in the huddle,
And what does Fred say to her?
and I came up, and Fred goes, "Oh yeah, everyone said bless you like a normal person does." And Fred goes, "You're so good looking." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Does no one understand that?" We're like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "It's a Seinfeld reference," and we're like,
What's Seinfeld? Is it like a sitcom?
and then he tried to explain it to us, and we just seemed,
Parents,
yeah.
we got that.
Yeah.
You're so good looking. All right, not even as many as I would have hoped. What is wrong with you?
Anybody else got a funny story?
Of this season?
No, anytime. This season, last season.
I'm pretty sure this story was told last year at this thing, but we're standing and we're going over like positions, and Sarah's standing next to Marg, in the back row.
Mess up once.
Yes, and she was a libero, so she was in middle black. And Sarah goes, "Okay, Mariah, you're going to be in middle black." And I cracked up
Freudian
laughing.
slip.
And Sarah goes, "I am so sorry, Mariah. I did not mean
I
to
love
say that to
you."
you. I'm so sorry." And I was crying laughing. It was so funny.
Maddie goes, I can't believe you said that. I go, neither can I. Like, I didn't mean to. Haley's done something about it.
I don't have one about Haley, but I have one about Fred. So we have an injury report every day, obviously because of the injuries. So then the very first injury report, we like go around. Fred goes, "Yeah, I'm a 6." Like 10 is like, I want to die.
Yeah.
And then 1's like, yeah, I can deal with it, whatever. So Fred goes, "Yeah, I'm a 6." And then Sarah's like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "I'm a 6 every day. Like when you're old, you just
My 6 is your 0.
Right?
My 6 is your 0. So then today, Hallie and I were serving, and we look like at the end line, and Fred is over there squatting with his arms up, and we were like, Emily like just hit one like perfectly in the corner, and then we're like, touchdown. It was pretty funny. Does anyone have one?
That's one thing I do love about this team is it doesn't have to be anything like super big and memorable, but every day we laugh. We laugh about something. We work really hard, but we have a good time together.
Oh, Haley. Oh, so Emily, it's just weird, but Emily bought Tootsie Rolls for Ball Girl. And we had extra ones, so we all decided, yeah, we're going to eat Tootsie Rolls. Like, we don't get treats that often. So Haley grabs the bag of Tootsie Rolls, and I was like, "Hey, Haley, can I have a Tootsie Roll?" And she goes, "The body of Christ." And she did it to everyone. Haley goes, "Sarah, you want a treat?" And she was like, "Is it a Jolly Rancher?"
No.
Haley's
Yeah.
like, "No." She's like, "I only eat Jolly Ranchers."
Well, yesterday somebody dared Morgan to see how many Tootsie Rolls she could get in her mouth. So she had Haley did? Oh, Anna did. She had 14 Tootsie Rolls in her mouth at one time.
Haley Gretz is now middle blocker and a Eucharistic minister.
Yeah.
Monty
Is
Python?
that going to be your new nickname on YouTube?
Monty Python?
Minister?
That's up to you.
Anyone else got a good story?
Oh, I have another one. We were doing the Badger hitting drill, which is like we hit balls and then it like goes over the net and then like it goes under the net. It's just like it's like a hitting drill. And then Sarah was like, "All right, guys, how many do you want to go do?" And he goes, "Oh, 4."
I was thinking they would say 10, 20, like let's get some reps in. 4. All right, Haley.
All right, Coach. Last year you started your annual breast cancer awareness match. This year you're doing the lung cancer.
Yep.
You want to share a little bit about the details of that event?
Yeah, I
coming
feel
up?
like I've been slacking a little on getting information out. I know I mentioned it in April, but this was something with the Dig Pink that kind of hit me because I had an aunt that was diagnosed with breast cancer, as well as having an athlete in the program whose mom was battling. And I thought it was amazing. We raised $2,400. We donated it to Susan G. Coleman. And I just thought it was a really good opportunity for our volleyball program to show some support in the community. And this year, I don't know, there's so many causes that we could support, but I felt like we needed to go all in on something. And we decided to choose lung cancer. Emily's dad, Tracy, was diagnosed. It'll be 3 years in November. And it's something that we want to show how much we care about their family. And Emily being an athlete in our program, and Elise being an alumni, and Abby being an athlete in our program. But not only for them, Fred's sister-in-law, Diane's sister, had passed away from the same lung cancer. I lost my grandma when I was 8 years old from lung cancer. So there's many other people that have been affected by the disease, but I don't think people hear about it as much. I feel like breast cancer does get a lot more publicity, and it's our opportunity to educate and support. And they work with an organization called A Breath of Hope. They've done walks and have done other activities through them, and so that's where we're just choosing to donate our money. T-shirts are on sale right now, so that's my shameless plug. If you go to rfvolleyball.com, they're on sale through tomorrow night. So, yeah.
Commercial.
Yes.
All right, coaches, you've been to the state tournament the last 3 years. What are you learning from each trip down to Green Bay? Fred, you often say that winning championships are very hard to do.
It's amazing to me. It's really hard. We're a really good team. And you get to the final 4 or 6 teams, it's really hard. And it's not just volleyball, that's true, but boy, each team is so good. And we went down there 2 years ago and had it in the palm of our hand. And last year we were probably even more confident anyway. Such a great team. And, you know, once you get there, anything can happen. So I love our chances this year, but we got to grind. We got to grind.
What are you learning?
I think the first year it was just so overwhelming because we didn't expect to be there and we didn't know what we were getting into. And I felt like the second year had a very different vibe to it because we had so many experienced, talented players on our roster. I think that year we learned that we have to finish it. We've got to see it through. And then last year we dealt with some adversity we weren't expecting with Maddie breaking her foot at the last minute, and Maddie stepped up and did a nice job. It was different, and we had to learn how to make adjustments and kind of roll with it, which has trickled in a little bit to this season with all of our injuries. So, you know, since November of last year, I've been putting a plan together, and you get in the gym and you've got one player down from the end of July, you've got another player that's been kind of on and off with this injury, and then bang, bang, you lose 2 other athletes in one practice. So we make adjustments.
On that segue, girls, what do you do to deal with your adversity throughout the year with tension from coaches, tension from teammates,
Coaches.
injuries,
so
confidence swings going up and down? You know, I know you're 17, 18 years old, but I'm just curious how you deal with your adversity through a lot of those situations. They don't have any adversity.
Right?
It's obviously different going from softball, a not so winning type thing, into a Kokoro type thing where you're getting a lot of competitive play in, but you're only there twice a week. And then you go to school volleyball where it's like you're gonna do this at this time, and like everything is so planned out, and like it's just a lot more organized, and it is like difficult going from sport to sport to sport, and also training like ETS and that in the middle. But I always know like drinking lots of water helps, and
Drink lots of water.
Bananas are good.
Pickle juice, bananas.
Jen, I love you.
Anyone else?
Going back to Mike's question, after that little segue, I think that's where
Jen,
our
I'm going to
team...
get myself some water real quick.
You mind getting me one, please? Okay. Talking about like our team chemistry being as solid as it is, when we go through those ups and downs with confidence, or maybe some coaches get on our butts about something, and we just kind of feel taken back. That's where our team picks us up, and we just keep pushing through that. Same with injuries. I've felt supported, and I think I can speak for the rest of the broken box people. That like everyone's just so helpful with everything, and you really do feel loved on a team like this.
And as a coach, I just want to chime in before you. It's nice for me to see that even though I've got people with injuries, they're saying, can I toss balls into this drill? Can I do whatever? Like they are, I don't know, I heard Anna with some of our new to varsity athletes the other day giving them pointers on how to fix something. And one of them said, wow, Anna just told me to do this and it worked. Like, I'm not, like they applied it. Not that you didn't know what you were doing, but you know what I mean? Like, they applied it, and so I wasn't over there because I was working with somebody else, but we help each other in that capacity. And when they are on the box, they're usually not just on the box, they're setting up against the wall, sitting on a box, or when the other girls are running, they're doing abs and riding a stationary bike, and so they're still trying to find a way to stay involved.
I think with all the injuries this year and just like the ups and downs that you get with like every season, I think that it really helps to just like sometimes we huddle between practices. Like one of the practices we talked about this the other day, about how just taking each practice and each day like one step at a time, because we all have the end result of like winning a state championship, and we don't want to come back to like this preseason and regret that we weren't trying hard enough and that we didn't win a state championship because of what we could have done in the preseason. So like we just have to put all of the struggles behind us and just take each day at a time.
It's a Fredism. It's a Fredism.
My points were said.
We don't have to pass it to
Yeah.
everyone. Oh, perfect. Unless I'd be like, you want to talk?
Well, I was just going to say, like, going off of our chemistry and how close we are, like, we do have ups and downs during the season, but I think because we're such close friends that sometimes, like, we'll, like, hang out and it's not volleyball related, and it's just fun
press
to be
pause.
able to, like,
Yeah.
hang out and not have to worry about volleyball. And then we can go back in the gym, like, a new start and, like,
Coach, you want to give a run through of all your injuries and how you manage your
No.
injuries and work to rest ratio and all that stuff?
Well, it started with Maddie, so she's up first. What's that?
Maddie, tomorrow.
No, she hurt. Well, yeah, I guess. So Abby Deary was in a boot as of July 28th for a stress fracture in her foot. When her foot started hurting, and I chatted with her mom, she said, do you think I should take her in? Yes, because we didn't take her in last year as early as we probably should have, thinking it wasn't that big of a deal, and we ended up with 2 broken bones. So yes, please take her in. So she had 2 to 4 weeks in the boot, and by 3 weeks she was out and healthy, so she's been with us all of preseason. The next day is when Maddie tore her PCL.
Is preseason considered 1 week?
What's that?
Is preseason this week?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Maddie hurt her knee at camp on the first day, went in for x-rays and an MRI. They gave her 4 to 6 weeks, but thank goodness no surgery. So she's doing her PT twice a week, and she's about 3 weeks out from hopefully getting cleared to start integrating back in. Anna's back. She had some issues in the club season a little bit, did some PT, got a misdiagnosis, now has been re-diagnosed, and is working with a great crew to get her healthy again. So it was kind of left up to, we don't know how long it's going to be. If he was making a guess, he thought maybe 6 to 8 weeks, which would take us right up to playoff time. But she had a great session the other day, and I think he's feeling like she's ahead of where he hoped she would be. So we're shooting more for that 6 weeks or sooner if we can steal her. Who is next?
Danny.
Well, Hallie. Hallie's got some issues with her feet that we're hoping we can kind of control with just managing the amount of jumping she's doing in practice. So she took yesterday off, but was back today with ball control and serving, and we're hoping to have her ready to go next week. Yeah, and then in the same practice, I don't know who came first, but Danny went down with a knee injury right around her kneecap. So she went in yesterday for x-rays, today for an MRI, and we're waiting on results from that. And then same practice, Maddie, who had told me the last couple of days her foot had been hurting, came over and said, Sarah, I'm at an 8. And I said, go call mom and dad and let's get an appointment. So we got a stress fracture again in the same foot that we broke last year. And they said 4 weeks. So we're hoping that if we can keep that rested, again, we can start integrating her back into the crew.
All right, Fred, Sarah, you've been doing this for 10 years.
And Fred's back at a 6.
Fred's at a 6. You guys have been doing this for
0 pain for 8 weeks. Well, 6 pain, but
Yeah.
zero.
But then volleyball started. So you guys have been doing this for 10 years. Obviously, you built one heck of a great winning program. What are some of the challenges of being a coach? Right, everything's great. You win a lot. You get down to the
There are
state
none.
tournament. You win conference championships. But really, day to day, what are the challenges of being a coach?
Working with these girls, there really isn't. Like, I feel like we've gotten to... Yeah, I feel like we've gotten to the point where the communication's so good and they're so mature and responsible. So it's little things when it comes to coaching. Like, we're leaving last night after having our ball girl party, and there's 35 of these cute little girls who just think these are the most wonderful things ever. And I look out in the hallway, and all the youth boys basketball players are in there when I was told that we could leave the nets up all week, and we had no idea they were coming, and now we need to help make sure that the gym's ready for them. And I've got middle school cookie kickoff. There's just, it's chaos. It really is, but it's a controlled chaos, and I think that it works, and we just have to learn to be flexible.
All right, girls, you're up here as the 6 seniors, and you've got a bunch of underclassmen sitting in front of you. How do you include, lead, mentor the girls new to the team and the other underclassmen?
It's pretty easy when you get some pretty great girls on your team. I mean, Morgan and Taylor. Obviously, Morgan's my sister, and Taylor spends all the time at my house, and so does Brianna. So those, like, they kind of just came on, and they were already, like, close. And Morgan's been with all of us for the past 2 years, so that was easy to get her into it. And everyone just has such an open personality. And then Amelia's been with the program, so we've been around her, and it wasn't hard for her to hop in with us. Maddie's just the kindest spirit you'll ever meet. So that wasn't hard either. So.
Which Maddie?
Oh,
Your sister.
Maddie, the newbies, bro.
She was mad, so I didn't know it.
You were mad, Maddie?
No, I don't really care.
Sure. I just think that all the newbies understand, like, the expectations when it comes to, like, practicing and playing on this team. So it's really not that hard to, like, lead the team because they obviously just understand what the expectations are.
Injury report?
The biggest thing that I've actually had to do, because like they're very, very already like smart when it comes to volleyball IQ. There are certain drills that we'll do where Sarah or Fred had given like the veterans some advice in years past. So, for example, we had a serving drill where it was serving in between an orange tape or like string in the tape, and girls were missing short. We had a lot of errors. So in our huddle, I said, always aim for deep because it gives them a chance to play the ball on the other side. But if you miss into the net, they get no chance. So it's just little things like that. So passing the knowledge along that we've learned, that's going to make all of our newbies better.
All right, well, we've got the newbies, so I'm sorry, Em, would you like to go? Go ahead, Slinger.
One thing that I was going to say that's helped me, like, connect with the newbies is, like, I just try to, like, pitch in some little jokes or, like, some little laughs to get them to, like, smile at me, and I think that's just, like, kind of helped get a connection.
All right, well, we do, obviously, Rob and Jeff and I do the basketball, girls basketball as well, and Todd Strop always tells a great story about his mom, Linda, that she now refers to only the players by the nicknames that we've given them. So we've got 5 newbies. We've got the Daredevil, Maddie Derry, will be joining us here in the 2019. The Ace, Amelia Armstrong, the Magician, Morgan Cayley, Taylor, the Tornado Peterson, and Brianna, the Badger Bradford. So with that said, girls, who's got the best YouTube nickname?
Oh,
Mine, because Fred made it. No.
that doesn't make it the best.
Well, come on.
Dude.
Jump around?
Okay, but like mine has my initials in it, like part of it, like all day.
It's
but
just.
But it has my initials.
Says it all.
I like mine a lot.
Says it all, Daredevil.
Like the gambler, like taking, like that's just an intimidating. Like I'm not afraid to like mix around some
The
stuff.
Gambler.
Okay.
Yeah, I think setting. I don't know.
As he
Let's take
was
a
the
vote. I
general?
think mine.
I vote Maddie's.
All right.
Vote mine.
I don't know. I think the fact that you called Emily the gunslinger for a full year and she didn't know what it meant and she had to go back and say, Mike, what's a gunslinger? That kind of makes my heart
What's
happy.
a gunslinger anyway, she says.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you want to talk about the new players, coaches, the new players coming onto the team?
You want to, or would you like me to?
No, I'll let you do it. I just want to say it's really exciting. It's fun to watch. Again, this group scrimmage each other because we scrimmage at a very high level. The speed is very fast, and our rookies this year have been able to acclimate themselves very well and fit right in. And it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a lot of fun to watch. potential is so great. You can see them learning like little sponges every day. So.
Little sponges. Well, taking 15 is a higher number than I've had in years past, but the big reason was because of the number of graduating seniors we have. And